Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Why I Like, a show that more or less explains why I like a show and why I think you might like a show. Now, here's a question that I have been thinking of for a while. Why do I like Rick and Morty? And the answers that I've come up right here should convince you of if you'd like it or if you don't like it. What is the first thing that I like about the show? Well, it's the idea behind the show. It's the idea of the multiverse and being able to travel through it. In Rick and Morty, the main character, or one of the two main characters, Rick, has a portal gun that allows him to travel throughout, well, dimensions, or the multiverse. He uses this, more or less, to get to places that he desires. Things, and get and do things that he wants to do. And, more or less, help him do whatever the hell he's trying to figure out. Now, why do I like this idea? I like this idea because the multiverse is vast. And that means that there are infinite realities where you've done infinite amount of things. If you want to know a little bit about the multiverse, I'll try and link something in the description, and maybe you could go around looking at some videos if I can find any. Anyways, what else do I like about the show? I like the dark comedy. The dark comedy in this show is, well, just that, dark. And I feel like Rick and Morty pulls that off. See, in a lot of TV shows that are in Adult Swim, Rick and Morty's more of a, I'd say, darker type of show. Now, while Family Guy is brutal and American Dad is sort of, I don't even know how to explain American Dad. That's a good way of explaining how I feel about it right there. And I'm not saying that these shows are bad by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying that I personally don't partake in watching the show, and I don't want to talk about it. So let's move on. What about the dark comedy that more or less lets me enjoy the show? Well, I would say that it's because of the idea that we are so small and so far out and so insignificant that this massive universe that Rick and Morty creates doesn't want anything to do with us. Or if it doesn't really want anything important because our planet isn't important. In one of the final episodes of Rick and Morty, Rick explains it pretty well. So that's just another reason to go and watch the show. Now, what else do I like about the show? Well, it would probably be its episodic nature. And what do I mean by that, episodic nature? Explain things to me, Icarus! I don't know what this means! Explain it! Okay, fine. An episodic nature, or episodic in the context of this show, would mean that every episode is self-contained. Meaning that you could start with any episode and you could keep going from there into the end of the show. Now, I would recommend watching a couple of episodes at least before you watch the finale, as not every episode is completely episodic. So, with that being said, let's go to our final conclusion of this episode. Why should you try it? If you are a fan of sci-fi and fantasy, I think that you would enjoy this show. It pokes fun at both tropes, and it is a very interesting thing in itself. It actually makes you think, which I don't think a lot of shows on Adult Swim do. Now, if you like dark humor, then you're going to absolutely fall in love with the show and go and have fun. But if you don't like dark humor and you're not that fan of fantasy or sci-fi, then I would say that the show isn't exactly for you. But I would like you to try and expand your horizon, as I said in my last video. Shouldn't you try expanding your horizon? But anyways, guys, that'll do it for today. I would like to thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.